Hi, my little pop noodles. Yes, it's Mand again, and I've got a little touch of makeup on just so that I look like a proper YouTuber. I'm quite pale, but that's because I've got a bit of concealer on as well, and I get red patches, you know, because I'm an old hag really. So, but I'm wearing a nice t-shirt, New York Dolls. Right, yeah. So I'm going to introduce you to one of my career paths. For 10 years I worked in TV. Now, you would have thought that maybe a girl, woman, or whatever, I present myself as, whatever you'd like to think. I mean, these days you could probably get away with being called non-binary, but we're talking about quite a few years ago. We're talking about the 1990s. Okay, so there's adults walking around now who weren't even born when I was working in television, which is actually really depressing. And I realise this because when I've been looking at not old episodes of Doctor Who, but the old episodes of New Who, if that makes any sense. And I remember when they first came out, and I remember watching them on television when they came out, and then I remembered watching them, catching up on YouTube if I'd missed any because I'd been at work or whatever. That was 2005. It's 2020 now. I was over 30, well over 30 by then, and there was kids who were 5, and now they're 20 or 19, and blimey, that really hit home to me how ancient I am, how much time has passed. And really, and I thought, well, why not tell people what it was like in the 1990s working in TV. I'm going to this is a minor introduction. I shall go into specifics later on when I've got some video clips. Hello, Dom, leave my coffee alone. Good boy. Yeah, I'm going to try and do some posh editing and stuff like that. Look at this cat. Hello. So, yeah. Go into your bed. Go and sit in your bed. Don't sit in front of the... Honestly. So, yes. He's such a pain. Sorry, I'm going to have to hold this in my hand now. I'm sure I should probably put this on a stand or something. I'm going to have a look at Amazon in a minute, see if I can get some kit, because I've got some stuff that somebody bought me for Christmas, but I'm not really sure how to use it. So, but I'm gonna get myself a green screen. How about that? Yeah, but make sure I don't dye my hair green, otherwise I'll have things chroma keyed onto my head. That's a word that they used to use in TV. Chroma key. It means keying, using colour as a key. And the electronic signal sort of recognises the electronics signal of a particular shade of green, and that's how it works. I could go into it, but yeah, I was a technician, and I learnt all about light and colour and electronics and everything else way back in the early 90s. I went to a place called Bromley College of Technology in 1991. I'd left school in 1988. I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do. Did a bit of temping, got chucked by a boyfriend, then decided that I was going to throw myself into something really, really interesting and fab. And it turned out not to be as interesting and fab as I thought. But, you know, young people make daft decisions, and you know, it's not intractable. You can always go back and do it again if you need to. So there's a lesson for you right there. If you mess anything up, don't worry, you can always start again somewhere else. Anyway, so yeah, so I went to Bromley Tech and I did an ordinary, what's it called, an OND, something, a national diploma. I can't think. No, I've got my certificates in the office here, so, but I can't be bothered to look it up. Anyway, and I did that in TV and broad radio engineering systems, I think it was called. And so there was an awful lot of technical stuff there. Lots of maths. Now, interestingly enough, I was doing quite well at that. And I said to one of the tutors was doing the advanced maths bit, and he said, do you know what? You should all be very proud, because the maths that you're doing at the moment is degree level maths. And I said, but I didn't even get a CSE. You know, I got a CSE grade 2, which in fact actually works against my favour at the moment, because I'm trying to get a place in a teaching programme, and they basically want to give me a maths exam, and ain't never going to happen, because I can only do maths if it relates to actual tangible objects. So like I said, I did the maths, and it all started to make a bit more sense. And yeah, I got really into it. I got really into the technology, and the sound I didn't quite gel with quite so much, but the video side of it, yeah, I loved it. And so then I went into Ravensbourne College, which everyone in most people in the UK who are involved with the television industry and the creative media know the name Ravensbourne. It's kind of like a top tier, well, you've got a top tier university or something like that, but it's very industry specific. So I went there, and I didn't do quite as well, because I really lacked a lot of confidence, because when I went to do the OND, I was basically the oldest person there, and everyone else was like 16, 17 school leavers. Like I was in my early 20s, and they used to tease me and call me mum, which was a bit rotten, but yeah, they used to wind me up a bit. And so by the time I'd got to do the higher national diploma at Ravensbourne, I was a little bit on edge. And then there were all these young people that reckoned that they were the cheese sandwich, you know, and just couldn't really get on terribly well. After the first year, everyone was being put into summer placements, so they could learn some on-the-job skills, and then go back in September and do the final year, and you know, and they'll have learnt something. Now, I didn't think I was going to get anything. The only practical stuff I'd done before was a runner, and that's basically walking up and down Soho with bags full of videotapes. So no, not terribly interesting. And I thought, you know, I'm not very good at this. I'm going to get another runner's job. But I didn't. I got a placement at MTV, and I just thought, I am so not cut out for this, because like everyone was so cool, and you know, and really confident, and I'm like quite a sort of, I was very introverted, very plain, very kind of like carry before the fire, if you know what I mean. Just really a fish out of water. But I met some lovely people there, and I met some absolute a-holes as well, which I might talk about on another day, because it's supposed to be a quick scamper through, and we're already like 8 minutes 21 through this video. So yeah, I was very surprised, and I had a lovely time. I was absolutely scared out of my whatsits, and then I went back. But MTV in the 90s was a nice place to be. It was, you know, it was music videos, it was VJs, it was people sitting in front of chroma keys with, you know, like people like Ingo Smaller, probably never heard of now, and a few names that you will have definitely heard of, and I've got a few stories about, but I'm not really sure. Mind you, it's a commentary channel, isn't it? So I think I can say what I blooming well like and come and get me. But yeah, I've got some interesting stories to tell. I also, after I finished, I did this thing, instead of a final exam, we had this thing called Station on Air, where we had to turn the college into like virtually a TV studio, and put out 24-hour material, and most of that was supposed to be live. So we'd have news, and I did a talk show, and it was rubbish. Just like the people I got roped into my project really weren't feeling it, and it didn't go terribly well. But I got headhunted by 2 different TV companies who happened to be there at the time. One was London News Network, and the other one was Channel 1. And I picked Channel 1, and Channel 1 was a disaster. I'm sorry, but it really was. And I should have gone for the other one because, you know, it was much better. But yeah, it was good fun there. It's good fun there. I met some nice people there too. I did everything. And in those days, you were called a multi-skilled technical operator, and you were expected to do everything. And of course, straight out of college, paying you, you know, not much, expecting you to do everything. I'm a nervous wreck. And basically then I just went on from freelancing from there and got less and less and less work because I just, every time I lost confidence, I just got really tense. So in the end, it didn't work out. But I worked for lots of different companies. I worked for QVC, I worked for Channel 4, I worked for a place called Legal Network Television. I did some stuff for This Morning. I did loads and loads and loads of stuff. But I'm going to talk about individual stations and maybe throw in some celebrity names as well. People now, if I tell them about that, they think I'm bullshitting. I can absolutely tell you that these lines weren't. I'd never bullshit. Okay, I have lived experience. I can tell you stuff, and I can absolutely guarantee you'll be 100% true, because really, I'm not into impressing anyone. I mean, really, I'd look a lot nicer than this if I was out to impress anyone, really. I mean, if I was about to be an Instagram legend or a YouTube influencer or whatever you want to call it, boy, I'd make a lot more effort than this. So I've got no reason to bullshit anybody. So, you know, I've got the receipts, as they say. I've got the CV. I've got pay slips. I've got all sorts to prove that I was there. So yeah, so 1994 was the first year that I did TV proper. Although I did do a bit of running in '92 when I was like a wee thing, and then I left in about 2003. I think I got my last little bit of freelance work, which was I think it might have been EMAP, and I was doing a bit of VT, which is videotape, and there wasn't a videotape then. Things had moved on. It was I think I was editing trailers for The Box or something, and it wasn't terribly interesting. But I did work for Ogilvy, which was again VT, and that's an advertising agency who was then in Canary Wharf, and then I did the same sort of thing, compiling tapes of cornflakes adverts for a place called J. Walter Thompson, which is in it was in, where was it, Berkeley Square or Golden Square? Can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so it went from being really exciting and really kind of thrilling, and I was doing lots of things, to basically, you know, compiling tapes of cornflakes. So it just wasn't going anywhere. And then I had a bit of a breakdown, and that was it. I chucked it all in and decided to go to art college. So yeah, that's in a nutshell the brief history of my career in television. If you want to hear any more about it, if you want to hear about famous bands I've met, famous people that I've met, things that have happened with them and that, drop me a comment below and I'll spill the tea, as they say on YouTube. God, look at me with all my fancy new words. Right, well anyway, cheers for now, and I will see you all soon. Ta-ta!